We go now to Matthew Fogg, the retired U.S. Marshal from Prince George's County.
And I've been trying to figure out who knows what works. And so I ask you, because you seem to be the expert, what kind of regime in other states or other cities might actually work to deal with the relationship between the African American community and police? Because clearly it's not working anywhere, but somewhere it's got to be working.
Right. Well, I've dealt with LAPD and Miami and so in different departments. We've had this discussion over again. I think it comes down to, again, when we talk about black communities and we talk about the resources and who's going to listen to your complaint. I mean, I knew right off coming out of the academy, if I stopped a car with 4 blacks in it and a car with 4 whites in it, I knew just from the whole culture that whatever I said those black folks did, I knew my supervisor, everybody behind me would back me up. As opposed to somebody might say to them, when you stop the white guys, well, what was your probable cause for stopping them? Well, you never asked me that before. So what I'm saying is, we've got a culture in place that we have to first identify race as the problem. And I tell people all the time, until we really sit down and say, this is about race discrimination.
I mean, look, I live in the neighborhood that you're talking about. So I'm trying to get a sense as to what we need to do to sort of answer this question. As I told the chairman, I'm going to be honest, I came to Annapolis, and this was the first issue on the table. Dealing with police and the black community.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out what's next. And you sound like the expert. And I want to get a sense as to how we make this thing work.
Let me tell you one very important issue. Residency. Residency issues. When you talk about law enforcement officers having to live in the areas they come from, and the second one is whistleblower protection. I mean, real whistleblower protection for law enforcement officers who see the other bad apples. We see them. We know who they are. We talk about them, but we cannot say anything because we know what happened to us.
This is my last question. I'm going to let her. Sure. I'm trying to figure out then, when you said residency, are you saying that the police officers need to live in the communities that they police?
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. They need to be from the areas that they're going to police. Because I saw it over and over again.
You're right.
When I worked next to these guys, if they weren't from that area, they'd come in, man, swinging billy clubs, torching, doing all kinds of things to folks because they had these preconceived notions. So that is very important, that the officers live in the area they came from. And then the second one, most important of all, and I don't care what anybody says here, if you got to have real protections. If I see another officer hit him 10 times, tase them, do all these crazy things, and I know what's going to happen in my career. If I speak out against them, I'm keeping my mouth shut. You know, they say in the airport, they say if you see something, say something. In law enforcement, if you see something, keep your mouth shut.
Thank you so much.
Sorry about that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, thank you all. Next panel, Greta Willis, Marion Gray Hopkins, Will Morrow, Dorothy Elliott, Darlene Kane, and Roberta McLeod. That's 3 out of the 6, so I'm not sure who I'm. So if you could just come on up and identify yourselves and.